This lab was performed through a process called acid-base titration in order to determine the endpoint that indicates the neutralization point. In order for that to happen, the same amount of acid and base need to mix together in order to make a neutralized solution. We used a burette that was filled with base to insert drops of it into the flask, which we filled with vinegar, water, and 2 drops of the indicator for the lab to work.
The table presented shows the initial amount of volume used for both trials 1 and 2. The other table shows the initial volume that we started at and the final volume where we ended at, which was 29 for trial 1 and 30 for trial 2. It also indicates the amount of volume used, the molarity of NaOH used, and the molarity of acetic acid, which we were able to calculate.
We determined that the neutralization point was between 29.5 milliliters and 30.4 milliliters because the solution was too light when we added 29.5 milliliters and it was too dark when we added 30.4 milliliters. So the neutralization point had to be somewhere between those 2 points. There were some potential errors that could have been made during this lab. For example, adding too much water. Adding too much water can be an error since the water is being used to find the neutralization point. Therefore, adding too much of it would dilute the acid instead of neutralizing it. Another potential error would be adding more base than needed. This would be an error because instead of neutralizing the acetic acid, it would be more basic.